Hey, how's it going, Bayley?
Hi, Graham. I'm good. Thank you.
First question for you. Now with you and Sasha in possession of all the gold coming out of Monday's Raw, what's the first thing that you guys do to celebrate?
Well, we run around the performance center like wild animals, yelling at everybody.
Uh-huh.
Then we go up in the locker room and we take a deep breath and just kind of lay on the floor because, wow, we have been working hard every freaking show.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe celebrate with some red wine, and then we relax.
How much inspiration are you guys looking to draw from the pairing of Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H from '01 as kind of the modern day two-woman power trip?
Honestly, I didn't really think about that until we started getting tagged in it or
Mm-hmm.
like on Twitter or Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
But it's awesome because I was a huge fan, obviously, of the two-man power trip. They're two of the greatest, separately on their own. But when they were together, it was like just because they had gone against each other so many times in the past, seeing them together was something unbelievable. And I was actually there when Triple H tore his quad when they were teaming together. I was live in the crowd as a fan.
Oh
So it's
wow.
really cool to know that, like, now we're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're kind of like we are the first woman duo to be, holding all the gold.
There's also been a lot of comparisons recently, too, from fans of you and Sasha to D-Generation X's Triple H and Shawn Michaels, largely because of, your talent level, how you guys carry yourselves, your presence on the show, stuff like that. One fan, specifically a guy I know named Randy Cruz, he went so far as to call you guys She-Generation X. Have you heard of these comparisons at all, and what are your thoughts on them being compared to DX?
I don't think I saw anything from the DX one, but I could totally see that. Like, to be honest, I'm not good at reading my Twitter anymore, so I don't really see many things.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's freaking cool because I think, I don't like to be compared to other people because I'd like to be the first us.
Mm-hmm.
But I think little splashes of Triple H and Stone Cold or a splash of Triple H and Shawn Michaels, or people will say like Trish and Lita, or like whoever it is, little splashes of that makes us,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, with, a big old splash of our own personality, our own characteristics, our own everything.
Mm-hmm. And having beaten Nikki Cross now, you guys are facing off with the SmackDown Women's Championship this Friday on SmackDown. Do you approach this match any differently on Friday, having beaten her before? Do you approach it any differently than the other matches you guys have had together?
To be honest, I would say, yeah, this one in particular, I'm approaching a little bit differently because, I mean, I've been in her situation in the past. I've failed so many times going after championships and still not giving up on yourself, even though people are doubting you. But last week we saw her, face her own best friend, her own tag team partner,
Mm-hmm.
Alexa Bliss, thanks to me. But she beat her, and she didn't hold back. She was ready to fight. And like that kind of says something about a person when they can beat their own best friend
Mm-hmm.
to get what they want. So I think she's definitely coming into this match differently. And I know I need to be on my toes. Even though I beat her countless times,
Mm-hmm.
you can't underestimate the underdog always.
Well, let's say you add another win over Nikki Cross to your resume on Friday's SmackDown. You beat her again on Friday. Who is there left for you to face, having dominated essentially the entire SmackDown women's division, except for probably Mandy Rose and Sonya? I think are the only two women on that show that you haven't beaten yet.
That's true. I mean, I have beat them in the past, but like, who's counting? Well, let's see. Like, if you're talking SmackDown Women's Championship titles matches, then I mean, yeah, you're right. It's like I would love to, even though it's Raw, I would love to have Liv Morgan come over. I don't know how many times I have to say Liv Morgan come to SmackDown. Mandy Rose and Sonya would be awesome. Even any of the NXT crowd, we got the NXT crowd out there. Some of the girls that are sitting and watching us every week, I would love to welcome them in the ring, and just to keep my skills sharp.
Mm-hmm. And after such a dominant run so far in the last year alone, I mean, you've been champion practically the entire time, dating back to Money in the Bank. I was at that show in Hartford at Money in the Bank 2019. It was a great moment when you cashed and became champion. You've been champion practically ever since then, except for like a 5 day span late last year when Charlotte beat you for the belt, and then you regained it 5 days later. What goals do you have left to accomplish in WWE, and how much higher do you think you can go?
Well, I still have a lot of things. You know, I've never won a Royal Rumble, so I'd love to win a Royal Rumble match.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to main event WrestleMania. There's still a lot of things like on my own that, you know, in matches or, you know, tagging with Sasha, we still haven't had as many tag title matches as we'd like to have. I would love to have the tag titles represented on WrestleMania or SummerSlam as like one of the marquee matches. So it's still about building up those tag titles because I think they're going to be very important now and in the future for women coming in. But honestly, I just want to keep getting better and better and be one of the top stars in WWE as the years go on.
And I know a familiar foe in yours, in Ember Moon, actually had an interesting response to what went down on Raw this week with Sasha become the new Raw Women's Champion. You guys are dual champions now. Saying that there's too many people sitting at home right now to tie up the titles with just two people. What were your thoughts on her response to what went down on Raw this week?
Well, that's my first time hearing it, but, you know, I can understand the frustration on the outside. For one, Ember Moon's not even there and not seeing everything going on. And, you know, she knows how good we are. She's been in the ring with us. She's teamed with us. But someone's got to do it. If not us, then who? Someone's got to take control of this damn division. Someone's got to take control of the company because no one's stepping up to the plate. And Sasha and I have been up to bat for years and years and years. And we're knocking it out of the park. So sorry, Ember Moon. But if you want to do something about it, come do something about it.
I think she's looking for a rematch from SummerSlam last year when you beat her.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And I'm still the champion, so it probably really irks her.
With you guys being dual champions right now, do you think these same circumstances, with you guys being on both shows as the tag team champions as well, would have happened in a normal year with fans and with, you know, everything just going on right now? Do you see the same scenario playing out had everything kind of gone normally, I guess, with fans being around right now?
Hell yeah. Why? I don't know why it makes a difference if there's fans or not. If anything, it's even harder without the fans. So I think it's honestly, we're just on a different wavelength than everybody else right now. We just think so much differently, and we're taking advantage of everybody slacking because of the pandemic era or whatever, the PC era as everyone's calling it. So we're picking up everyone's slack and now we're reaping all the benefits.
Would you consider this to be your favorite run so far in your entire WWE run, you know, including SmackDown, Raw, even your time in NXT? Would this rank at the top, or would it be behind the NXT tenure?
Yeah, I would say it's just right behind NXT, if not just as even. You know, NXT was just such a special time. I've been looking at a lot of old pictures from, like, end of 2015 to all of 2016. And my time with those NXT people, our roster, our locker room, and traveling, it was just unbelievable times. But maybe that's more personally, it was fulfilling. But maybe more professionally right now, this has to be my favorite.
And Sasha's obviously got to be number one. But aside from Sasha, who's been your favorite opponent in, you know, your entire WWE run, that including Raw, SmackDown, and NXT? So who's been your favorite opponent, and who's been your toughest opponent aside from Sasha?
Aside from Sasha, because you know that would be my answer.
Yeah.
Asuka is probably everybody's favorite. You know, she's unbelievable. These past, even though, you know, we have to whoop her from time to time, we have to put her in her place and her and her friend Kyrie. She's just the most consistent. You know, she's been wrestling for so long. She's a freaking mother, and she never has a bad match. And she's just, I don't know. She's a different animal, and lucky to have been in the ring with her. She's probably my other favorite, and the hardest or the toughest is definitely Nia Jax.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. And you guys have had your fair share of matches over the Raw Women's title a couple of years ago as well.
Oh, yeah. And NXT as well.
Oh, yeah, NXT, of course. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. But, yeah, you guys have had a lot of history over the years. You and Sasha have practically been inseparable since your move to the main roster 4 years ago, almost always being on the same show, whether it be Raw, now SmackDown, traveling with each other a lot. What's been your favorite thing about being with Sasha all the time? And I don't want to say the worst thing, but maybe your least favorite about being with Sasha constantly.
My favorite thing is just having, like, having your best friend. she inspires me and pushes me to be better professionally. She's always, constantly trying to reinvent herself and constantly trying to have the best matches, which makes me want to have, a better match or just as good, or, we just always want to give 110%. If I'm not feeling good, if I'm feeling like crap, she's there to lift me up. So she's just, it's great to have your best friend by your side. And take wrestling out. We're able to talk to each other about life stuff. But my least favorite thing, let's see, it's how early she likes to wake up. When we would travel, we had share rooms together, and she's an early bird. She's like a 6 a.m. Let's wake up, let's work out, let's everything. And I'm like, no, let's relax and ease into the morning because I'm freaking sore.
Mm-hmm. Has that changed at all with the pandemic and the current circumstances, or is that still the same as it's been for years now?
Like, as far as what?
As far as getting up early and stuff like that.
Oh, for her, yeah. We don't live, I live in California, she lives in Florida, so she's even up, she'll wake up my time, 3 a.m. And I'm like, what are you, just relax, like, come on. This is technically our only kind of time off, or off season in a way, like, let's just catch up on sleep. But no.
Have you had more fun, being a heel this past year than being a babyface, which is, your natural character for so long until just last year? And how long had you been waiting to kind of make that turn to the dark side before just last year?
I've always kind of wanted to test myself in different areas. I felt like I was the same person, same character for 7 years.
Sure.
And I felt like, I always wanted to just try everything. I didn't want to do the same thing over and over and react the same ways and look the same way. Although I loved it, people could dress up like it, toys and video games and all that stuff. But I felt if I were to end my career doing the same thing, that I would have missed out on things. So it was always kind of in the back of my head, like I would love to just look completely different and throw everyone upside down. What the hell happened? So I guess it was in my mind I thought about it in NXT, and then obviously it went away, didn't need it. Then maybe a couple years into being on Raw and SmackDown. And I'm loving it. At first I was a little scared. I was like, dang, I think I made a huge mistake, but I'm having so much fun with it. And the same with the past hugger character to now. I think I could throw a lot of my own personality in both of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it definitely shines through on the shows, too. And I think a lot of fans would agree that you and Sasha, with just your mannerisms and stuff like that, are among the best parts of both shows currently on Raw and SmackDown. How long had you actually wanted to cut your hair before you finally did when you explored this new character about a year ago?
I would say maybe a year before it. The reason I did the ponytail was because all the girls had extensions. They all had their hair dyed. And I was like, I don't want to keep up with that. And I don't even know how to do my hair. I'm such a tomboy. I don't know how to do my own hair. So let me just throw it in a side ponytail. And that was easy for me. And it's kind of the same thing now. Is I don't want to get extensions. I don't want to dye my hair to stand out. No one has short hair because everyone's afraid of short hair. So let me just chop mine off. It was, I would say, a year before I actually did it.
Do you have a preference between being on Raw and now being on SmackDown for the past year and a half now?
I love SmackDown. And I love SmackDown the second I got drafted over. I felt like I was going to a new school and I was by myself and Sasha wasn't there at the time. And I was really afraid, but I don't know, it just has a different feel. And I've been lucky to, kind of lead the locker room for this long.
And finally, how hard have you pushed for Paramore to do an entrance song for you now to kind of coincide with your current character?
Dude, for so long, I have interviews from NXT asking, I had magazines interviewing me, and I'm like, I don't know how many times I have to ask, but I actually joined one of their Instagram lives, and I asked Haley, and she said she kind of misunderstood. She thought I wanted to use the song.
Okay.
But I need her to know that I want her to perform the song. So hopefully when all of this is done, we can work that out. That would be a dream come true.
No better time than at WrestleMania 36, hopefully. That'd be pretty great.
Yep.
Best of luck on Friday, Bayley. Thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Good talking to you.